Hello and welcome to the Daily Comic and Collectible, episode 466. Now today, the collectible of the day is the Mezco Toyz, Marvel Comics, 112 Collective, Brown Suit, Wolverine action figure. With a shadowy past, the X-Men member known as Wolverine was a soldier, mercenary, and part of the mysterious Weapon X program. His mutant abilities consist of animal keen senses, enhanced physical capabilities, powerful regenerative ability known as a healing factor, and 6 retractable bone claws in his hands. The bone claws and his skeleton were infused with a nearly indestructible adamantium compound to make him even more formidable while part of the Weapon X program. This 112 Collective Mezco Wolverine figure features a newly developed body accurately depicting his build. This 6-inch scale figure of the brown and yellow Wolverine action figure also features over 30 points of articulation, including 2 heads, hand-painted authentic details, 6 interchangeable hands, weapons and accessories, and real fabric clothing. Pose and display him on his included stand and logo base for an incredible sight in your Marvel collection. Each Mezco Wolverine figure is packaged in a deluxe collectible-friendly box, designed for fans in mind. There are no twist ties for easy in and out package display. This box contains a 112 Collective Wolverine figure, 2 head sculpts, 6 interchangeable hands, his costume, which includes gloves, band braces for forearms, shoulder pads, belt with pouches, sculpted boots, and his Muramasa katana, released by Mezco Toyz. Now, the comic of the day is Wolverine, Volume 2, Issue number 21, with a cover date of February 1990. With story by Archie Goodwin, art by John Byrne, and cover by John Byrne. This issue is titled Battleground. This issue picks up immediately after Wolverine, Volume 2, Issue number 20. We open at the Australian headquarters of the X-Men. Psylocke attempts to contact Wolverine telepathically. She tells her teammates, Havoc, Dazzler, and Colossus, that she's able to pinpoint his location to Central America. However, she cannot contact his mind and tells her friends that he's out of her power to help. In Tierra Verde, Geist and Caridad's soldiers find the crashed helicopter and begin trying to track down Wolverine, Bandera, Sister Salvation, and Roughhouse, who have escaped from them. Not far away, Roughhouse attempts to keep Wolverine, who's been drugged with Geist's experimental cocaine, from lashing out. Roughhouse holds Logan still long enough for Sister Salvation to use her healing touch to heal Wolverine a bit. She tells him that his best bet for survival and fighting off the effects of Geist's cocaine would be to surrender. Wolverine refuses to do so, and they continue on their path to escape. Not far behind, Geist and his men soldier on to try and capture them while President Caridad searches in the air by helicopter. Bandera is leading her rebels as well when they come across an army of natives, armed with their weapons, posed to kill. As Geist continues to track the escapees, Roughhouse and the others duck under a partially uprooted tree in a swamp. There, Roughhouse tries to keep Wolverine contained, so his drug-induced mania doesn't reveal their location. Wolverine begins to hallucinate and envisions himself fighting through an army of Nazis during World War II. During the battle, he easily kills the soldiers and destroys one of their tanks, although he's caught in its explosion. As he slowly revives, he's visited by a vision of Sister Salvation, who heals him and tells him that he must go alone to the castle that overlooks the town. She tells him that he needs to be his own healing factor. In the real world, Roughhouse wakes up to find that Sister Salvation is using her healing powers on Logan again. She asks Roughhouse to help her contain him because she believes another violent spell is about to hit. In Wolverine's hallucination, he gets to the castle that overlooks the German town and finds Geist shaving Adolf Hitler and giving Hitler some advice on his latest test subjects. Wolverine bursts in and attacks Hitler and is surprised that when the Nazi leader turns into snow. Attacking Geist, the creature inside his body reveals itself, transforming into a giant mass of a creature, calling itself Spore. Spore promises to tell Wolverine its origins before consuming him, and then envelops Wolverine's body. Back in the real world, a storm has hit the jungle, and Roughhouse is finding it difficult to keep Wolverine contained and notes that the feral mutant is worse than ever. Sister Salvation realizes that the only way she can help Logan now is to hold him and tosses her nun's hood to the ground. Deep in his hallucination, Wolverine learns that Spore was a creature created by the Deviants to be their ultimate weapon against their foes, the Eternals. A living disease to consume them all. The Eternals would have a hard time fighting off Spore, but the creature would meet its end when the Celestials would return to the Earth. Spore would face them and be seemingly destroyed. However, his essence would end up in the soil that would ultimately become President Caridad's cocaine plantation. His being cultivated into the drug. Spore would seek to find the ideal host body in order to be reborn, but until recently he had yet to find one strong enough to survive. With its origins explained, Spore then attempts to absorb Wolverine and use him as a host body. Remembering what Sister Salvation told him, Wolverine wills his healing factor, represented by duplicates of himself, to appear and ultimately purge Spore from his system. Waking from his hallucination, Wolverine thanks Sister Salvation for her help in healing him and getting him through the worst. She tells him that she couldn't abandon anyone who suffered. Just then, they are found by Geist and Caridad, who thank Sister Salvation for leaving a trail for them, holding up her nun's hood. When Logan asks how she could have betrayed their position to Caridad and his men, she explains that Caridad has her son. This story is continued in Wolverine, issue number 22. Geek Fact. This issue is considered a key issue, being the first appearance of the creature Spore. Bonus Geek Fact. A small sample of Spore had actually survived the creature's destruction, and years later it appeared under containment by the high-tech black market network known as Source Control. Another bonus geek fact. The true origins of Roughhouse are a bit fuzzy. He was stated to have possible mythological origins, and was speculated to have been born in Asgard, and to be of Asgardian nature. While classified as a mutant, he was believed to be descended from the Asgardian native rock trolls, but could as well be a god, giant, or troll. He's also known to have been systematically abused by his father as a boy. It is believed that the reason Roughhouse wears long hair and a full beard is to hide scars he received at the hands of his father. Another bonus geek fact. Sister Salvation was a mutant healer. She kept her powers after the decimation of the mutant population, and years later she was killed by the Dark Riders during their crusade against mutant healers. State-of-the-art gaming. Now available for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
8 Eyes.
Featuring the new Dual Attack Mode. As Orin the Falconer, you must save the world from the evil of 8 Eyes. These jewels of power are held by the King's Dukes, who plan to rule the world for their own profit. Control Orin and your Falcon Cultress alone, or in its unique simultaneous mode, where you are Orin and your friend is Cultress. Even contains a password feature. Only available from Taxon for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Advertising ad fact.
Are you brave enough for
Castle Mammoth.
Enter the ghoulish Castle Mammoth, a world of fantasy gaming you control via your own touch-tone phone. Adventure comes alive as you snake through a maze of eerie flesh eaters. Dodge the sizzle of fireballs hurling towards you, and finally reach the gold hidden deep in the Demon Prince's pitchfork underground dungeon. You can win real gold, genuine gold in heated monthly competitions. Call if you dare.
Call now. Only $1.50 for the first minute, 75 cents for each additional minute. And final geek fact. Once a year, Wolverine ventures into the woods on Native American land to remind himself that he is more of a man than an animal, after a native man helped to remind him of that fact during a period when he was more feral, in part by imparting the wise tale of the two dogs. Inside of me, there are two dogs. One of the dogs is mean and evil. The other dog is good. The mean dog fights the good dog all the time. When asked which dog wins, he reflected for a moment and replied, "The one I feed the most." During one of these early excursions, he met Maya Lopez, also known as Echo, who was on a vision quest and told the story to her and how he felt it related to him. The man who told Wolverine the story heard it from Maya's father a few weeks before her father died. We find out this part of Wolverine's life from Daredevil, Volume 2, Issue number 55, with the cover date of February 2004. Well, I'd like to thank you for joining me for another Daily Comic and Collectible, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. This is Cat Fan Comics Man, and I'll catch you on the flip. Over and out.